Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock and it's time for another video. Now, a little while ago, I did a video on 3 card tricks that kids would absolutely love. Because here's the thing, a lot of magicians kind of avoid performing magic for children because they think that there need to be a kid's magician. You don't. All you need to do is select the right type of material. A lot of people think that card tricks are not the right type of material, and they couldn't be more wrong. Kids love card tricks. You just have to make sure that you perform the right type of card magic. You don't want to do long, overly boring, repetitive, procedural routines. That's not a good thing to do. You also don't want to do routines where they're having to specifically remember values of cards, because a lot of kids don't know the 7 of diamonds from the 6 of clubs, for example. Instead, what you want to do is you want to do routines that kind of really visual or have a hook built into them that are just ultimately really, really funny. And what I'm going to do on this video is I'm doing the follow-up. So I'm doing 3 more card tricks that kids absolutely love. I think it's really important that as magicians, especially close-up magicians, we learn magic that will work for children. I've seen so many sort of professional close-up magicians that get to a gig and there's kids running around. Maybe it's a wedding, maybe it's a private party or something, and they just completely avoid the kids. They go in a totally different direction. They don't want to perform for the kids. They don't want to have anything to do for the kids. And I think that's a real shame, because you can win the kids over without being kiddie. You don't have to go and put on a full-on clown outfit, paint your face up like white and call yourself Bozo the Clown in order to entertain children. You can entertain children being yourself and doing card tricks, as long as you pick the right type of tricks. Now, like I said, this is a follow-up video to a video I did a little while ago, so you can go check out that follow-up video if you want to, for sure, absolutely not a problem. But this is 3 more card tricks using, 3 more card tricks using a pack of cards or using playing cards in some capacity that kids absolutely love. Okay, so the first routine I want to talk about is a routine called Blank Stupidity. And you can learn this on the NETRIX. Now, this is a packet trick that I created probably about 15, maybe even 20 years ago now. And I first put this on my DVD Blank, which came out through World Magic Shop. And Blank was a collection of routines with blank cards. Now, that's not been available for a very, 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 very long time. However, I thought that Blank Stupidity was one of the best tricks on the actual project. And it's on the NETRIX. If you want to learn it, you can go and sign up to the NETRIX. That's www.thenetrix.com, and you can learn it immediately. It's on there and ready to learn. It's a packet trick using some blank cards. So in a way, I'm kind of cheating with this one because it doesn't use a full deck of cards, but I don't look at it as cheating. And the reason I don't look at it as cheating is because, this is still a card trick. In essence, this is still a card trick. It's just presented in a completely different way. It's a packet trick, basically. And what I love about this is I love it. I love the fact that it's all about the imagination of the kids, the imagination and using their imagination. And this presentation works really, really well for children. Now, I'm going to show you this now so you can have a look at it. So let's have a look at Blank Stupidity. Let's have a look at performance. I'm going to perform this on somebody who is basically a child. His name's Matt. You might know him for the Matt test. I'm going to perform this to Matt. Let's have a look at Blank Stupidity.
Blank Stupidity.
Yeah, it's basically my life. It's my life, mate. That's what it is. But it also uses blank cards.
Right, okay.
And the blank on one side, the blank on the other side. These are what cards look like before they're printed. Very difficult to get a pack of cards like this. You've got to know somebody who works at a playing card company, and they sneak them out on the graveyard shift. But here's what's interesting. if you take two blank cards and you rub them together, you get a back. Now the problem with this is the back.
Well, hold on.
The back doesn't have a face, right? There's no face. But here's the thing: if I give it a little twist, you know what happens? Well, now you get a back on each one of the faces. So you got 4 cards with backs. Now, having a back is one thing. To have a face, what you do is you take one of these backs, right? And you give it a little twist. When you give it a little twist, you get a face. Now, that's a king. Let me see if I can do this again. You give it a little twist, and what happens is you get a second king. And you get a third king. And you get a fourth king. Well, a third king and a back, but the back has a face. That's a king as well.
What the
and
fuck?
we've got four cards, and they've got fronts and they've got backs, and that's what you call magical printing. That it's pretty weird, right? Thing is, it's only an illusion. Do you know why I know it's only an illusion? It's only an illusion, it's not real. The reason I know this is because if I rub, you can see. I can take it back to how it was at the beginning, you see, where there was no face, there were no backs, all you've got is blank cards. You know, in all honesty with you, there were never even, the whole thing was an illusion, there were never even any cards. That's how it works. Just don't tell anyone, mate, that's the... So there's a few things to like about this routine. First of all, it's actually really easy to do. The only complicated part, or the only part that's a bit technically difficult, is the side steal at the end to turn them all back to blank. But there are other options. You don't have to do the side steal. You can just openly put one card to the bottom. But there is, I talked earlier on about card magic needs to be visual. This is super visual because you start off with blank pieces of card. They're blank on both sides. You slowly print the backs, then you print the faces. The cards are all printed, and then instantly they become blank again. And what I typically do at the end is I'll then make the cards vanish and everything's completely gone. Now, kids go absolutely crazy for this routine. This also makes a really nice opener because it establishes credibility. It's over very, very quickly. There's a lot of moments of magic, and by the time you finish this, both kids and adults will be wanting more. Like I say, no table required, no angle issues to speak of. The only issue is it's not examinable at the end, which could be an issue other than the fact at the very end I just vanish the cards and I go into something else. So then that doesn't become an issue, and there's so much magic happening in a very short period of time. This has been a routine that I've been using as an opener now for probably the best part of 15 years. I'm very, very proud of the construction of this routine. I think it's a very well constructed routine that hits all of the bases. So yeah, it's called Blank Stupidity. Like I said at the beginning, you can learn it from the NETRIX, but when you're thinking about performing close-up magic for kids, this is a perfect example of a routine that will work really, really well. The key thing is make it visual and make it fun. It doesn't always have to be visual though. There's no problem doing counting tricks as long as you make it interesting and you set the premise and make it engaging to the children. And you're going to see that in the next routine. So let's have a look at the next routine and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So the second card trick that kids absolutely love is the 3-card trick. Now I have, this is also available on the NETRIX, so if you want to go and learn this, this is my variation of the Edward Victor 4-card trick, and you can learn this from the NETRIX by going to www.thenetrix.com. You can learn this immediately. This is not a difficult routine to do. This is just an Elmsley count. So all you need to be able to do is do a few Elmsley counts and understand the sequence that you have here, and you have a really fun, engaging routine. Now, when I open up my card set, this is a great routine to do because you're not having somebody pick a card. Instead, you're kind of going in a completely different direction. And you'll notice at the beginning, I palm a card off, but you don't need to palm, or I palm a stack off. You don't need to do that. There's a lot of different options in terms of how you can actually present this routine and how you can actually do this routine. Kids love this, but adults love it as well. This is a routine that just works for everybody, which is just super awesome. Kids especially find it hilarious. And this is an example of what I was talking about. Before I go any further, let's have a look at a performance and then I'll explain exactly what I mean. The 3-card trick. Do you have any idea why it's called the 3-card trick?
Is it because it involves 3 cards?
Yes, it does. Brain of Britain. That's amazing.
I'm picking this magic stuff up
so
quickly.
You get to pick which 3 cards we use. So as I spread through, touch card, any one, and a second one. Nice. And finally a third one. You're happy with those 3? Sure. To be honest, it's not, you know, it's not like a trick where you pick a card and I find it. Okay. It's not like that. So it doesn't really matter what the cards are, in other words. As long as we've got 3 cards, we're fine. We'll put the rest of the deck over here. So in this case, we've got a 9 of hearts, we've got a King of spades, and we've got a 6 of spades. But it doesn't really matter what the cards are, as long as you're using 3 cards. Are you ready? Yeah. So what we need is we need 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. I thought you gave me 3 cards.
I picked 3 cards.
Sorry about that. Let me just put that one away. I must have accidentally took another one. So it's called the 3-card trick because it uses 1, 2, 3, 4. What? So weird. Hang on a minute. Let me just put that. I must have got another one. Right. It's called the 3-card trick because it uses 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. That's just. I'm sorry. Let me just put that one over there. Okay, so it's called the 3-card trick, right? And the reason it's called the 3-card trick is because it uses 1, 2, 3. What is going on? 4. This is just getting ridiculous. I'm sorry. Let me just look. We'll put that one over there. Okay, so it's called the 3-card trick, right? Because it uses 1, 2, 3. I'm so sorry. Let me just put that on there. Actually, I know what's going wrong.
What?
It's not, I'm getting the name of the trick wrong. It's not the 3-card trick. It's the 3 trick. Do you know why?
The 3 trick.
Yeah, it's called the 3 trick because all you need for this trick is a 3. That's the trick. Just a 3. So you can see in essence what we have there is a counting trick. You know, there's 3 cards apparently, and every single time you count through the cards, there's 4 cards. Now, kids love repetition. I'll tell that you again so you understand. Kids love repetition. My daughter is 7 years old. She likes the Paw Patrol. She could watch the same episode of the Paw Patrol over and over and over and over again because she knows what's happening. So she's looking forward to seeing her favourite parts of the episode, right? Well, it's the same. It's absolutely the same with the card trick. Once they understand the premise behind the trick, which is that you've apparently got 3 cards, but there's 4 cards, then they are looking forward to that moment coming up and they find it funnier and funnier and funnier. But the key thing here is how you react to this. You want to, and what I mean by that, and we're going into kind of psychology behind kids shows here, but what I mean by that is if I just went, okay, so it's the 3-card trick, 1, 2, 3, oh, there's 4 cards, let me just put one away. Oh, there's 4 cards there. They don't care. What they care about is when you're reacting. Think about every bad Jim Carrey film that you've seen. You have to overact just like Jim Carrey, right? Because it's that overacting that makes it really funny for a child. If you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm sorry, I only thought I had 3. I'm really sorry. And then the second time, because the reaction has to build. So the first time it's kind of like 4, that's weird. They must have stuck together. And then the second, 4, what's going on? They're going to find it funnier and funnier and funnier. Now, you don't have to do an over-the-top clown-style reaction, but your reaction should be such that they can realise that something's going wrong, and they're going to find it funnier and funnier and funnier when it does. And you could literally do that forever. If you could honestly count 52 cards in the deck, then heck, you could do this over and over again and kids would find it hilarious. Then just when they think they understand what's going on, you hit them with a really strong piece of logical magic, which makes sense, that brings the whole routine to a conclusion. Here's the thing. Kids love it when tricks go wrong. You can call it the magician in trouble scenario or whatever you want to do. Kids love it when tricks go wrong. And the reason is kids are conditioned to believe that adults have all the answers to everything. Now, in reality, we don't, but they think that we do, which is why kids will ask a million questions. The reason they ask a million questions is because they think that adults have all the answers, right? So when an adult does something, and you're basically an adult with superpowers because you're walking over to these kids and saying, hey, you can do magic tricks. So from their point of view, you're an adult with superpowers. So if you start doing these magic tricks and things start going wrong, even if they're going wrong in a magical way, they're going to find it hilarious. Think if you've ever seen an adult stub their toe and go, ow, in front of kids. Kids find it hilarious. That's why this routine works. Even though in essence it's a counting trick, it's why this trick works so well. From a practicality point, it's super practical. Yes, you need a table. Outside of that, you can do it anytime, anywhere. It's very, very easy to do. So there you go. That's your second trick, designed for adults that kids will absolutely love. Your second card trick that kids will absolutely love. Let's have a look at the final routine. So the final routine that kids absolutely love is, I've forgotten. The final routine that kids absolutely love is a colour changing deck, right? Now there's lots of different colour changing decks you can do, for sure. There's millions of different colour changing decks. However, the one thing that colour changing decks have got going for them is the concept of the fact that the deck is changing colour. Now this is really important because this is like vitally important. And the reason it's so important is because kids love colouring in, right? A lot of the time, the way that you get a kid interested in a card trick or any type of trick is the hook line. And what I mean by that is what you say to hook the child in. If you just come out and say, I'm going to show you a card trick, unless that kid knows playing cards inside out and back to front, which is highly unlikely, they're not going to be invested or interested in it. But if you can change that hook, if you can change that premise, and you can make that premise about something that the kid is more interested in, then they're going to invest in the tricks that you're doing. And in this case, the hook is, hey, who likes colouring in? Now, that is an amazing hook. And the reason that's such an amazing hook is because Kids love colouring in. Doesn't matter what age. Ryland's almost 10. He loves colouring in. Thea, my 7-year-old, loves colouring in. They loved colouring in when they were 2, when they were 3, when they were 4. They're probably going to still love colouring in when they're 11, 12, 13. Kids love colouring in. So once you understand that, and you understand that setting that premise is going to get the kid invested in what you're doing, then suddenly the trick becomes a lot better, a lot more engaging, and they're going to invest themselves in a card trick. Let's see this in play. Obviously, I'm not performing this to a kid, but you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to perform it to Matt as if I'm performing it to a kid. Let's have a look at that.
Good.
You can do something with a pack of cards. 52 cards, they're all there, they're all different. And I'm going to show you something pretty fun, pretty interesting with this deck of cards. Now, you, my friend, are going to pick a card. It doesn't matter whether I see it. This is going to become important later on. So just say stop anytime you want.
Stop.
Right there, you sure? So we've got the 10 of spades. You happy with the 10 of spades? Yeah?
That's a club.
Sorry, 10 of clubs. All good. Apparently I don't know clubs and spades. Are you happy with the 10 of clubs, yeah?
Yeah, man.
I'm going to cut the card into the pack, make sure it's lost, and we're going to get back to it a little bit later on, okay?
Okay.
The important thing is this deck of cards. I want you to notice that when I shuffle the cards, the faces change and the backs don't. The faces change and the backs don't. That's not magic. That's just obvious.
Yeah.
I like to point out the obvious, really, when it comes to things like this. But the reason I point that out is because of something kind of really interesting. I'm going to give you a magic paintbrush.
Okay.
Hang on. It's invisible.
Of course it is.
You take the invisible magic paintbrush. And which card do you want to use to do this? Anyone in particular?
The Ace of Hearts.
Ace of Hearts, that one there. Perfect. All I want you to do is just wave that paintbrush over the Ace of Hearts. Oh, touch it to your blue jeans. Yeah, we need a colour. There we go. And just wave it over. Honestly, you're so good at this.
What the hell?
Let's do it again. Let's get a different card. Which one do you want now?
What?
Which one do you want? Take a card. Touch one. Which one do you want? That one there. Okay. So you know what you got to do now. You've just got to just wave it over. Oh, that won't work. Touch it to your blue jeans again. Just dip it in the paint. There we go. Wave it over. I mean, honestly, at this point, I'd say you're doing really well. Let's do it one more time. Just take one more. That one there? Okay, do the same thing. But touch your jeans first, though. I mean, it's amazing, right? But if you're going to try this at home, and I encourage you to try this at home. It's very easy to do. Anyone can do it. You just need a magic paintbrush. You can get them from Amazon. But if you do try and do this at home, never take the paintbrush and put it on top of the deck. Do you know why?
No.
Because if you do take a paintbrush and put it on top of the deck, bad things happen. And when I say bad things happen, what will happen, you see, is it will make the oh, it didn't work. Such a shame.
What?
Let's try again. I should have put it on there for longer. Wait. See, what we're trying to do is we're trying to have all of the ink seep through every single card. It takes a few seconds. I didn't give it enough time last time. There you go. That's it. Let's have a look. Ah, perfect.
What the hell?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
shoot.
that's every single... Well, I missed one. I'm really sorry I missed one, but I did miss one. It's the only one that I did miss. I mean, I got all of them. I missed one. The one I missed is the 10 of clubs, which is the card that you picked at the beginning, which is pretty cool, right? I mean, the fact that I got every single one except for the 10 of clubs. I mean, that's pretty cool, right?
What just
But
happened?
hang on. Do me a favour. Let me just take that 10. Hold the paintbrush. Watch this. If I just do this and do this. Yeah, that one goes as well. That one goes. There's the 10. And that's every single one of them now is blue. And you can examine everything. Every single one of them.
What just happened? I can look at them.
Yeah, it's just a regular day.
That'd be good for heart attack.
This cost me a lot of money, Matt, but I tell you what, you can have the invisible paintbrush.
Imagine if you didn't wear blue jeans today.
What just happened?
I don't know.
Why am I still holding this?
Yes, I gave you. It's a gift. So there you go. That's an example of a colour changing deck that you can do. I mean, to be honest, any color changing deck. Now I've explained about hook lines. Any color changing deck will work as long as you do a color changing deck where you put the ability to change the color of the cards into the hands of the spectator. That's really all you need to do. This is a really simple color changing deck that I put together specifically for this particular example. But if you have your favorite color changing deck that you do, the concept of what I'm talking to you about here is taking a trick that you already do, in this case a color changing deck that you probably present in a totally different way, and instead presenting it in a way that you're putting the magic in the hands of the spectator. They are doing it, and you have this kicker ending at the end that they don't see coming. Like I said before, kids love it when tricks go wrong. So if you can do a trick where they're doing the magic and then it goes wrong at the end, but in a really magical way, then you're onto a winner. So have a look at your repertoire, have a look at a color changing deck that you do, and see how you can change the premise. There you go. That's your third trick, third card trick that you can perform for kids that they'll absolutely love. So there you go, guys. That's another video in the bag. Do me a favor, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Would you like to see a third video in this series? If you would, we can do that for you. Absolutely not a problem, but I only want to put it together if it's the sort of thing that you want to see. So let me know in the comments down below what you think. If you haven't already done so, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. It really means a lot to me when I see that subscriber count tick up. I would like to see that. Thank you very much. And then finally, most importantly, if you want to see what I'm most proud of, then go to the NETRIX. It's www.thenetrix.com. It's my online streaming platform. We're constantly adding new routines to it, and we are going to continue to add new routines to it every 2 weeks. We want to make it the ultimate platform for magicians. So if you haven't already done so, go check it out. It's thenetrix.com. I will be back again soon with another video. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Craig for Magic TV.